What a nice day today. Finally, I can get payback on my precious bungalow. I'm counting on you, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course, let's put an end to this long ongoing case.
The trial of Lim Teck and Dr. Abdul Hamid Abdul Rashid and Anor will now commence. Is the plaintiff and defending sides ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plaintiff is ready.
The investigator shall now begin the summary of events.
Immediately, Your Honor. In early 1984, the plaintiffs went to Jurusan Malaysia Consultants to build their bungalow at lot number 3007, Mukim of Ulu Kelang, Gombak, Selangor. On 11th April 1985, the bungalow was completed and was handed down to the plaintiffs. Then, in the middle of 1987, Mighty Corporation Sendirian Berhad commenced construction of lot 3008. It was adjoining to the plaintiffs. Between the night of 17 September 1988 and early morning of 18 September 1988, the rear portion of the bungalow collapsed, and as a result, the bungalow became uninhabitable. The plaintiffs then went to report the incident to Majlis Daerah Gombak, where a report was made on the cause of the collapse. The report states that the slope on which the said building was built was too steep with a gradient of 45 degrees. Engineers advising the building of the house took little concern in assessing the stability of the slope. An excavation of lot 3008 affected the slope to subject to heavy rainfall and river toe erosion.
That's a good summary of events. If there are no further questions, we shall proceed with the claims.
Immediately, summon the representative of Majlis Daerah Gombak to the stand. State your name and occupation.
My name is Made Gom. I work as a law enforcer of Majlis Daerah Gombak.
The plaintiff claims that you have failed in statutory duty of preventing matters which are likely of endangering public safety and failed in supervision of the building plans within your local authority. What do you have to say in your defense?
On the day of the collapse, the plaintiff made a report in our headquarters, and we appointed an engineering consultant to do a report regarding the cause of the collapse. I'll have you know we do not have any legal duty as averred by the plaintiffs, nor do we have any power to execute such an authority. We will not be responsible for any alleged loss incurred by the plaintiffs.
After Jurusan Malaysia Consultant was done with their design, it was handed in to you for authorization. You must be in part of responsibility to...
Objection! By virtue of Section 95 of Act 133, the local authority shall not be subjugated to any claim arising out of any building. How can a local authority be responsible for every building collapse in their area? That is clearly a prejudice claim towards law enforcement officials.
Order in the court. It seems that the defense has a valid point. If there are no objections to that, I'll hereby dismiss the claims on Made Gom.
I have no objections. I have no appeal. While we're at it, I would also like to dismiss my claims towards the fifth defendant, Liu Kim Sang. I've just learned that he's just a clerk working in the firm. Lazy to fill in more paperwork for dismissal. Moving on, summon the third defendant, Mighty Corporation representative, to the stand. State your name and occupation.
My name is Sri Ali. I work as an engineer at Mighty Corporation Sendirian Berhad.
Mr. Shing, the plaintiff claims that you have unnecessarily allowed infiltration or seepage of water into ground and or allowing it to overflow onto the plaintiff's land. What do you have to say in your defense?
I don't know what is he talking about. While it's true that we are in charge of the construction of Lot 3008, our works most definitely did not cause the collapse of Lot 3007 as we always follow the standard procedures. If anyone, it must be the plaintiff's incompetence in hiring engineers. And even if the slope was indeed in danger of collapse, the plaintiff never told us about it.
Hold it! I did inform you of the dangers. We even had a meeting on it. You filthy liar!
Order in the court. Plaintiff, interrupt a testimony again and you'll be charged in contempt of the court.
Yes, Your Honor. Are you sure you aren't the incompetent one, Mr. Shing?
What do you mean?
I have here evidence from the investigator on the scene of collapse. This is a 60 x 10 x 3-inch trench found to be excavated on Lot 3008. And this is a drain built along the slope of Lot 3008, 3/4 of the way down the slope instead to the river. These are clearly evidences that contradicts your claim. According to Clerk and Linsel on Todd 13th edition at page 851, it states that liability in respect of water depends on whether the water is naturally on the land or whether it is artificially accumulated or inferred with in some way. Nevertheless, the high proprietor is liable if he deliberately drains his land onto his lower neighbor's land. In other words, this is an act of public nuisance and negligence on your behalf.
Order in the court. The plaintiff has made a strong point. If there are no further objections to that, I hereby retain the claims on Shin Ah Ling.
None, Your Honor.
I hereby charge Mighty Corporation Sendirian Berhad the sum of 145,669 ringgit 20 cents, representing 40% of the liability. Bring in the final defendant.
State your name and occupation.
My name is Lim Teck. I am the head of Jerusalem Malaysia Consultants.
Mr. Lim, the plaintiff claims that you failed to exercise reasonable care and skill in the plaintiff's bungalow and failed to properly examine the soil condition and ascertain the suitability of the slope for the proposed house to be built. What do you have to say in your defense?
Absolutely absurd. Our firm has always adopted normal engineering practices. I have conducted the evaluation of the site and supported Lot 3007 on a pulp foundation based on correct design considerations. The cause of the collapse was obviously due to the failure to maintain by an ignorant owner of an initially stable slope which was increased by overburden to the slope and erosion. I don't see why are we wasting time on this.
It seems that you really like to make use of your time.
Well, of course, time is money after all.
So much so that you run 2 engineering firms. Am I right?
Hold! This does not have anything to do about the case. Your Honor, the plaintiff is badgering the witness.
Object! This all happened due to the negligence of the defendant. Having to run 2 firms obviously means the defendant has less time in assessing the stability of the slope.
Order in the court. The objection is permitted. Defendant, please state how you assess the integrity of the slope.
Yes, Your Honor. Indeed, I am running 2 separate firms. but that doesn't mean I did not access the integrity of the soil correctly. I took some samples from the exposed layer on my hand and examined it with my trusty monocle. It is a silty sand soil, has good drainage properties, it drains very fast.
Objection! Here are all the tendered reports of the soil assessment by Majlis Daerah Gombak, plaintiffs, and also you. Though they have their differences, they all have one thing in common. And that is, by just looking and feeling the soil, the sheer strength of the soil cannot be determined. After exhaustive tests were conducted, it is concluded that water enters the soil really fast and do not drain out immediately. Ergo, you are at fault for building the bungalow on an unstable slope. This certainly is a clear breach of professional duties.
Order in the court. A solid point from the plaintiffs. Does the defense has any objections to raise?
Nothing I can think of, Your Honor.
Then I shall hereby declare Lim Teck liable to pay the plaintiffs the sum of 218,503 ringgit and 80 cents, representing 60% of the liabilities.
I appeal to the judgment.